Hey guys, Jerry here and welcome back to the 7th and final episode of my GregTech Prologue. Yes, I'm gonna make this the final one because I believe that we are close enough to finishing this house that we don't actually need to do much more before I can start the real series. So what I'd like to do here is pretty much just do some terraforming here around and outside the house. Get some nice paths let in between the mineshaft entrance, the farm down there, and the house entrance. So that's it's nothing very significant in terms of gameplay, but it's something that matters quite a bit to me. I like stuff like roads, for instance, because it does an immense amount of stuff in order to keep your base looking cohesive and looking like an actual base, and not just a random collection of buildings and whatnot. Like having roads between them, in my opinion, is really important. So yeah, we need a road material, and for road material, I quite often like to go with gravel. Mainly because it's sort of a natural road material-esque type of deal. It's something that's widely used in roads all over the world. But unfortunately I don't have a lot of it. Now, can you make anything out of dirt that we could potentially use as well? Bog earth? Nope. Compost? Nope. Humus? Nope. Automatic recycler. Yeah, let's make a road of automatic recyclers. Soul sand. Soulful wax. Nope. Fertilizer. Dried dirt. Now that was a more interesting one. Dried dirt. You can't make slabs out of that either, so it's exactly as rubbish as gravel is. And that's another thing that I really don't get. Why is there not a single gravel slab mod? Like, even Forge Multipart doesn't allow you to make slabs out of gravel. I don't know if that has to do with the fact that gravel is a block that's affected by gravity. In any case, it's rather annoying. So, anyway, let's go down here and see if we actually have a gravel deposit somewhere we can exploit. I'm not seeing any. Actually, I think I recall seeing one. Yeah, right here. So hopefully it won't all turn into. Actually, let's just do it the easy way. There we go. Gotta love Minecraft and its flawed physics. Saves us a bunch of trouble at least. Alright, get rid of these. And then we can reach the next bits over here. Oops. Ah, well that helped a bunch. Actually managed to buck the gravel out. Impressive. Let's see, that's 30 pieces. Yeah, that should be enough to get started at least. So yeah, let's head back up, and in the meantime, what can I actually talk about this episode that I haven't covered already? I was mentioning that roads are kind of important to me. The same thing kind of goes for walls, at least in any sort of mod pack where invincibility isn't one of the things that you pretty much get immediately. Let's see, where do I want to get this road done? Do I want it to kind of go this way over and then downhill over here, or do I want it to kind of I want it to go from the front door here, and then downhill. Since I don't have access to slabs, we might as well just kind of make it so that you can easily put in some stairs later on, once we actually have some stairs. Anyway, walls, as I mentioned, are another thing that kind of can make the difference between a base being just a base and being a collection of random structures. Walls serve a dual purpose. Not only do they kind of give a nice border to your territory, they also act as a defense, which to some degree can be really beneficial, especially if you have like some very expensive machinery that has to be outside or is best placed outside, and you don't want a creeper blowing it up. Then having a wall around it of course prevents that. You can use it to separate parts of your base from each other if you want to have your base seeming a bit more focused. And I managed to bug it all again. Let's just dig it. And you can also create some very cool like looks if you have a wall and then you like expand upon it. So instead of tearing down the entire section of wall, you just poke a hole through it, and then you add another blob onto it, rather than, as I mentioned, tearing down an entire section just to expand your terrain. Tear down a little hole in the wall, make a nice gate through there, and then you can kind of have the old wall or the inner city wall or whatnot, separating separate sections of your base. So it's more, it's easy to see. Okay, this belongs in that part of the base. This belongs in that part of the base, and such. Again, it's a little thing that I imagine a lot of people really don't care about. But to me, it's one of those things that can make the difference between a base just being something that you live in to being something you want to return to and actually play in, live in, and expand upon. Like another thing about Minecraft that kind of goes with the whole wall and road thing, in my opinion at least, is that the whole point of the game is that whatever you build is yours. And if you don't get to keep what you build, then you don't care about it. And if you stop caring about it, then it's no longer your build. It's just a build. Let's get this one over here and then down there. Okay. We need to dig out how much? About 10 bits. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I originally left the Minecraft server I was playing on. The whole that if you don't stop caring, then if something else forces you to stop caring, then all of a sudden, yeah, you lose interest because it's no longer your build; it's just a build. I played on the server. That's where I met the high stakes guys, and or rather, where we all met before we were high stakes. We were building some big stuff together. We had a lot of fun doing that, and I needed to get a shovel. That was why I was in here. But because the server was forced to reset or whatnot, and the admins on it did not care to really preserve the world, we kind of got really upset about that and left the server and just started doing our own thing. So that in partial, you got that decision to thank for me starting YouTube at all. But of course, it's kind of sad to lose a build like that. So we really didn't want to lose the build. So we used a third-party tool to kind of save what we had, import it into a separate world, and yeah, we check on it once in a while, just kind of go back and say, okay, this is where we all met. It's kind of fun. That should be enough. But again, it was such a huge build, such a huge amount of work going into it, that the whole fact that someone would just delete that was completely incomprehensible to us. And I think that's one of the strengths of Minecraft, is that you build something and you feel like it belongs to you, and you feel a sense of ownership over it, and that is really what's sort of sets the game apart. Like, you feel your time is well spent because of the pride you feel in your builds if you do it properly. And having a road or a wall, or roads going between your buildings or walls going around your base, is such a huge factor in feeling that pride. That you took the time to actually build a defensive structure around, and you took the time to build the wall. That makes a huge difference, and that's something that I really appreciate in the game, that you can do, but also that, at least for the most part, server owners they encourage. They don't just go and delete the world on a whim. I think that's also part of the reason why many people seem to burn out in the game, is that they don't spend. Well, they might spend enough time in the game, but in my opinion, they don't spend it right. They don't spend it building up something that they feel belongs to them. They spend it instead on like just fucking around. But because they just seem to build seemingly disconnected builds without a greater purpose between them, or a sort of or this sense of ownership that I'm talking about, they end up losing interest because, well, the magic doesn't appear when you don't have the that sense of ownership. And one of the, as I've mentioned already a couple of times here, one of the greatest ways to get this sense of ownership is just to do something small, like build a path between your stuff, so it looks as though it's meant to be there. It belongs together, and it all grows naturally from that. So, like, whenever you want to expand upon this, for instance, right now I have the road going out here, which I need to put in a bit of dirt there so it looks right. Then I can put like a tree here or something, and it'll right around the tree and then into the mineshaft. Or I have this little area here which is not really that great, but it has this natural hollow here which could potentially make a good fountain. Or like a little, if I put a little pond down here and then a little water spout coming out from here, for instance, then I have a very, very scenic little thing right next to my house here, which could end up looking really, really good, and also look as though it belongs with the landscape. And that wouldn't have occurred to me if I didn't have this road going down here, because it wouldn't make sense if there wasn't a road leading to it already, as far as I see it. I need some more light over here. And the same goes for like this forest in here. Eventually I'm gonna have to tear down a lot of that and build some big buildings in here. Where do you start building a big building? Well, I'll tell you that. You take this road and then you continue it into the woods, and then you say, okay, I want my building off the road, or I want the road to kind of go into a little roundabout, or I want to make a little plaza or something, and then from there on it grows naturally. There was at one point one of my friends asked me, or wanted to build a medieval village, and I asked him a simple question like, what are the components of a medieval village? And one thing that he completely missed was that all villages have a well. Like, even in vanilla Minecraft, the whole village generation is always centered around the well. What is always generated is the well, and then from there on, roads out in the cardinal directions, and if the terrain fits it, then put a house, and the dice roll correctly, of course. But it always starts with the well. And that goes in, like in real life as well. If you want to live somewhere, you need access to clean, fresh water. As clean as you can get. And that's the fundamental requirement for human life, water. If you don't have that, you don't have any sort of life. You can't grow crops, you can't feed your water animals or whatnot. So water is really that fundamental. And now, if this was like a mod like Better Than Walls or Thaumcraft, I wouldn't have a very good water source, except for this lake here, which is then rather good actually, because it's kind of elevated and I have a lot of like a easily accessible space that I could do little aqueducts or whatnot from and lead into there, so I could have a large farm with the water hydrating it. I then instead chose to do the farm down here, but that's because I'm imagining that I have some sort of desalination plant or whatnot. Or it was just kind of convenient. I think the convenience factor has factored in quite a bit, or has weighed in quite a bit in the construction of this base, because of the whole lack of proper tools thing, because they actually require me to delve into the mod to get the tools. So yeah, proper tools. Good to have. I miss having them. That's way too... Why am I double clicking? And because I can't really continue the road much more, I'm just gonna kind of fade it out into that grass there. It looks as though there might have been a road at one point, but it just kind of got overgrown. That's another little trick. If you want to finish off your road but don't want to just end it, kind of make it fade off into into the distance. And mushrooms. So, animals. I could cage in some animals. That seems like a good idea. I have a bunch of wood. I could still make some fences off, I guess. There are no specific sort of special fences. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, basic fences it is. Let's see. Sticks. Fence. And some wheat. To actually lead the animals. Is the creeper still out here? Nope. Good. The only animals I really have are sheep. But I'm thinking I could just cage like 2 of them together, and then at the very least I would have some wool. So let's just make a little tiny sheep pen here. Yeah, that's a good spot. Alright, sheep. Sheepsies. The other guy I have is actually inside the house. I need to get him out of there. I'm gonna assume she's that one female. Dude. Come on, there you are. Alright. Hopefully you guys will follow me. Come on in here. I'm tired of listening to that spider, but not really anything I can do about it. And since I haven't made a gate, I'll just fence them in completely. Give them a little torch, and there we go. Bah! They have their own little place now. Good. Good. So, roads, walls. I don't have a wall yet, because at the moment my claim to this land is really just this house. As I mentioned, one of the things I'm gonna be doing soon enough. Oh, there's a chicken there. I could capture that. I don't know if there are any more though. One of the first things I'm gonna do once I start actually getting a bit of progress and making some buildings is actually make a wall around. But again, a wall is a huge investment in resources, so I'd prefer to have the tools for it first. But once I get those resources, the wall is going to be one of the things that will allow me to just carelessly walk around on the outside of my base rather than having to be inside a house all the time. So if I have a little tree farm over there, for instance, or another farm over here, or a big building full of machinery, I can just casually wander between them no matter what time of day it is and not worry about monsters spawning and coming in and killing me. And that's valuable to have. So yeah. But I'm actually quite happy with how the house is right now. I need to sort out the glass up here. I'm thinking I'll actually fill in so it matches underneath and just have 3 vertical windows. So I need to get a bit more acacia wood. And then I'm most likely also gonna mine a bit more cobblestone before we get started on the actual series. And then I do have one final thing I need to decide before starting as well. And like it might seem like a minor thing, but I really want to figure out whether actually I'm not going to reveal that. I need to decide for myself. So let's see, do I have anything else I need to say before we wrap up this Prologue series? I'm trying to think of stuff, but I can't. Don't seem to be coming up with anything. Just fill in this quickly at least, and then you guys can see sort of what the actual final house will look like. I need the glass up here. I need to make more glass, dig some sand, but that's a very minor thing, and it'll take me like 2 minutes, so I'm just gonna do that off camera. But yeah, as you can see, I think that it looks a bit better like that. Keeping the symmetry, and then allowing me to actually do some stuff up here, like maybe put a staircase if I want to get up to the attic or whatnot. Having some storage in the attic could be a good thing. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this Prologue series. So next time you see GregTech, it will be with a brand new thumbnail. It'll be a different, completely new series. It'll start out from scratch. So basically anything I've explained here will, anything that's relevant at least, I'll be repeating in that series. So anyone who has watched this will have a head start also in terms of what I'm going to talk about. But the gameplay content will be much more focused on the mods rather than vanilla Minecraft, because I've done all the vanilla stuff now. I have a farm that can sustain me easily, I have a house to protect me, I have a bed to sleep in, I have furnaces, I have chests to store a bit of stuff in, I got room to build machines and such. So all the basic needs for Minecraft survival are here. And that's something that is not normally something I really hate watching myself in Minecraft, but I'm hoping at least that my commentary has allowed you guys to not be completely bored while watching this, or alternatively just listening to it in the background. In any case, I am Jerry, and this has been my GregTech introduction. Remember to like the video, comment down below if you're excited for the actual series starting soon, and I'll see you then. Bye!